Hello, dears. This is a special tip for any voiceover artists, actors doing ADR, broadcasters, podcasters, anyone recording on microphone, singers, but especially really, I think, for spoken word. If you've ever encountered mouth noise, those little clicks that happen just by virtue of the fact that we're moving in there and there's saliva, then this is to help you. These are just some things. I've been doing a lot of voiceover work lately, and when you've got a 4-hour session and you have to get through a certain amount of content and it's very particular, it can really slow you down if it's making a lot of noise. So 3 things to help you. I'll start with the third, because the number one thing that's been helping me is a little more involved, but it's totally worth your time. So 3 things. Do pay attention to what you're eating. I found that, especially you probably know to cut out dairy, cut out anything sugary that's going to create a lot of film as it's digesting in your gut. So yes to those things, peanut butter, bananas, those kinds of things. But also found that spinach, to a certain extent, can create kind of a film there too. Certain things. So experiment, notice, and at least the day of, I would eat really clean and find things that work really well for you. And that also aren't going to make a whole lot of noise when you're digesting them. As you probably know, if we have to pause for that, that can be annoying. So if you forget, or even either way, I tend to have, it's chemistry. Really, it's chemistry, because we're adjusting the viscosity and the acidity, the pH of your saliva. Get to be a scientist. It's fun. You can experiment. Some things that I find helpful are, of course, water, but find water that's good for you. Some places it's a little too alkaline and it can sort of dry you out, or so find the one I like. My filtration system, it tends to work very well. Something that can be nice and strip. If you've got any extra film, you can put some nice raw apple cider vinegar, which is just great for your health anyway. Start with maybe half a tablespoon in a glass of water, and you can just swish with that. Another great thing if you get dry mouth is raw coconut oil. You can do what's called oil pulling and just, coat it around, do these kind of cat things where you're pulling any of the stuff, toxins or whatever, out of your mouth and then spit it out. Don't swallow that. Other things you can swallow, but don't swallow that. And then the main thing that's been helpful to me then, in addition to keeping hydrated, is gum. So not to chew it hard where you're getting a lot of tension in here, but I like this one. It's xylitol gum. Xylitol is a really great natural thing, and it's not going to have the aspartame and nasty stuff. So it's like a little chiclety thing, and what I do is I swirl it around, and I'm kind of simultaneous. I have a character who says simultaneously scraping and kind of coating it with the spearmint. I like the spearmint. I don't know why. I generally prefer peppermint, like just as a preference for flavor. But spearmint, there's something about the spearmint that kind of dries it out in a good way. So I roll it around, I get it on the roof, I'll get it along in my teeth, and I'll do this until the coating is pretty much gone. I won't make you wait for all of that. And when it's a little more than this, I bite it a little bit, and that creates kind of a crunchy surface. And I'll scrape even more off my tongue. You can use a tongue scraper, but doing that several times in a session might end up kind of damaging your tongue. I don't know. But there's also something about the spearmint that's incredibly beneficial. So that is great. And that gets you ready for really what's the most important, that it's been the most game changer, how's that for grammar? The biggest game changer for me is teaching myself new ways to say the sounds that make the most noise. For example, L. You've probably noticed when you lift your tongue up, just the sound of the skin separating from the bed of your mouth to your tongue lifting all the way up into L tends to create sound. And then depending on what it's coming off of, if it's coming off of k, if it's kl, that can create this whole matrix of other sounds in there. So retraining myself to do things like, instead of saying L this way, say it with just O, where the bottom of my tongue stays in the bed of my mouth. And then all I'm doing is lifting up the tip. Kl, tul. And you might have to experiment in there, but one thing, if you can't quite hear it, you can record it, of course. You can close one ear, and that can help hear the clicks. So L's and THs are another big one, because it's a very similar place. And then if you've got THL, LTH, TH and then an L, with a vowel or something in between, find it. You'll find it. Sometimes I need to cover my lip or lift my lip, depending on the shape of your teeth and where the air finds little pockets in between your teeth and your lips. Anyway, don't worry about if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with that. Start with L and TH. If you can get those things corrected, it's going to dramatically speed things up for you. There are plenty of other sounds. I'm going to keep this short, but I could also do personal training if you'd like to do private training. I'm presently taking about 1 or 2 more students per week. So if you want to check that out, 21accents.com. And also just for more tips, and you can join our community there if you'd like. So blessings. I just noticed when I said you'd like, yeah, I'm that much of a nerd where I've taught myself new ways to say all of these things, and then you'll find that, oh no, when it's that combination, I can't say it that way, I have to say it a new way. So happy to help you, or feel free to just experiment on your own. All the best with your work and your life. Vibes to your optimal learning.